It's Madden NFL 22, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Bears and the Pack coming up next.
Historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin joined as always by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Bears in this one, and this is going to be a heck of a chess match. This offense against a defense that will take no prisoners out there.
It's going to be a big-time battle, and I think that both of these teams have that mindset of we're going to do what we do and make the other guys react to us. And we've definitely got a couple of headstrong coordinators who won't back down from the challenge. So this will be a battle of wits as much as it'll be a battle of brawn.
No two NFL teams have played more often than the Bears and Packers, and we're underway from Lambeau. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And boys, he got the full package. Loves the game. Big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, what's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast.
Yeah, he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. Two tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 2nd and 13, Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a long night.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards there. 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a first down throw, Fields. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Rashawn Gary, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. Throw left side complete. That's Cohen. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 31-yard line. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Montgomery back to the ground, trucks over him, and he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
8th play of this opening drive coming up. This is 3rd down. Fields now to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Kmet. And he will get him down a couple yards shy of the 1st down marker. A nice tackle coming up from his free safety spot. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. And a good sign for them right now to have their young quarterback looking confident on the opening drive.
Now, we haven't met a young quarterback, a veteran quarterback. It doesn't matter. We haven't met a quarterback yet that doesn't tell us he's confident about his abilities, right?
That's true.
But when you're young, it's really important to get off to a good start because it does build up that confidence and allows him to play better as the game goes on.
Especially crucial here on the road. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he is trying to get to the marker. Going to depend on the spot, but I'm not sure he got there, and he did not. Here we go with the Packer offense, guided by their decorated QB with a long list of Pro Bowls and other accolades next to his name, of course. Aaron Rodgers leading the way.
There have been very few quarterbacks in the NFL who have been as consistent throughout their career as Aaron Rodgers. He's been good for so long, and we've seen no decline in his skills. His accuracy and arm strength continue to elevate the talent around him, and his in-game mistakes, few and far between.
The tackle by Robert Quinn.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Rodgers. A check down here to Jones. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a 1st down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day. All day.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
scoreless after one. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Second down, another shot for Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. To throw, it's Rodgers. Able to find Isabella. And he's got some space here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run.
This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays. And there's an example of that right there.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Rodgers now to throw. And that's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing is Rodgers. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Now that's going to be a tough one to explain when they get together and watch the game film, isn't it? I mean, they had the right call, had the out route. He's got to know where the 1st down sticks are, yet he steps out of bounds that close. Not their best play.
And this one is right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
After the made field goal, here's Sly to kick this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's Fields. Going deep this time for Miller. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. A huge play there for Chicago. We saw this plenty last year in college. He loved to take his shots downfield, and that throw, that was a thing to behold there.
And we often talk about hang time for punts, but in this case, we should probably calculate the hang time on that throw because that one hung up there for a long time and managed to keep going and going until it found its target.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
They follow up the first down 1 yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Throwing on third down, Fields. Looking for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on third down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. On is Santos for the Bears field goal. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. Santos' kick is up and through. And that will tie us at 3-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. On the return, Andy Isabella. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. Solid return. Pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. On first down, Rodgers. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side.
Maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
From the 38, Rodgers. And his throw is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. To throw is Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
Don't get nervous. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
Rodgers now on first down. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go, defense.
And again, it's Rodgers. A throw complete to the tight end, Tunyon. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
I got you. Check 59, Mike.
Now Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Rodgers again now. And that will be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it. They'll run it with Jones. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down, all right? This is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Defense, keep it up, guys.
Now Rodgers. Open man left side, it's the tight end, Tunyon. And out of bounds right around the 20. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Able to find Lazard. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here.
Check 59, 59.
Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers! And Isabella as the first half is winding down. And the Packers have taken the lead. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the 3rd quarter. So the potential could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome, everyone, to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Chicago. And they weren't able to get a whole lot done throwing the football. That'll likely be a big key if they want to turn things around in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Packers, they too found some success throwing the football. But I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Rodgers going to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he takes this thing way down into Chicago territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. Now it's Rodgers. And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left them reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead is now 17-3. Joey slide out and kick off after the touchdown. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
The tackle made there by Harrison Smith.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down, and you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Fields now to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st down, Fields. His throw incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A shotgun snap, Fields. Buying time to his left. And Fields going to have the 1st down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact.
Let's go.
But Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. But I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Fields. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And a second field goal here gets him back within 11 now. It's 17-6. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. On the return, Isabella. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead third quarter. Running on first down is Jones, but he's not going to get much, maybe a couple. And second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
2nd and 8. Here's Rodgers. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Rodgers now on first down. This one complete to Tunyon underneath. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Not today, you are. Not today. Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
On second down, Dillon. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
7 yards, the pickup there.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow Incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
58's the money. 58's the money.
Rodgers going to try and throw on third down. And the Packers are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Jones is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
This is obviously a critical sequence for this defense if they want to stay in this game. Down 2 scores already. They give up a touchdown here. That'll make things really difficult for their offense moving forward.
Second down and goal. Rodgers got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Packers have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. I've heard you use the term put-away drive, and that right there seemed like the definition of a put-away drive.
Yeah, it certainly just pops right up out of the book, doesn't it? Because up 2 scores already, just wanted to possess the football, keep converting and picking up first downs. And if the drive ends in 3 points, that's terrific. If it ends in a touchdown, fantastic.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead is up to 18 now. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Second and 10. Here's Fields. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. They'll run on first down. Jones. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. Second and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Check, 59, 59. I got one.
To throw on second and 6. Rodgers. That's complete to Lazard. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. And normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter. But the way that they passed it with such success, I don't know. Maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now Jones. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Here's Jones. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love